hints of Pennsylvania's industrial past can still be found, hidden away amid the hills and trees of the Commonwealth. And sometimes, historic preservation and environmental preservation have common advocates. In the woods near Sandy Run in Blair County, an iron blast furnace still stands. Elizabeth Furnace is a fading reminder of an industry once prominent in the 1700s and 1800s because of the region's natural supply of wood, iron ore, and limestone. But the land surrounding this piece of living history is significant for another reason.
The wetland, or the spring in Sandy Run, was designated by the Army Corps of Engineers and Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection as an exceptional value wetland. Hierarchy goes warm water, cold water, trout stocked fishery, high quality cold water, and exceptional value. So it is as pristine as it gets.
Whether you have exceptional value areas depends upon geology and geomorphology and makeup of the streams in the area. It also depends potentially on if there have been pollutant impacts to those areas.
The site is located right off an exchange for a major interstate, had been receiving development pressure.
Rather than bend to that pressure, however, the owner of the land felt a greater obligation to preserve the area.
He is a local businessman. He knew that he had at least a portion of property, and a rather large portion of property, that he would have been able to do things with if he wanted to.
There was also interest from the community in preserving that furnace. And actually that was one of the first things we looked at, was getting that furnace preserved. And then when we looked at the property and realized that the wetland was located on it, we thought it'd be a good idea to actually preserve the entire piece.
The Conservation District became the primary organizer for the project.
And in this case, we had to subdivide the property into about 4 parcels. One stayed with the original landowner, one went to the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, and the last partner is Southern Alleghenies Conservancy. The project actually would not have been able to move forward without them until we were able to find an actual conservancy, another entity to hold the furnace portion of the property. We couldn't get the deal to go through.
The major significance of the wetland is cool water during the summer months when water levels are lower. Just having this as a recharge area keeps the water, enough water for the fish that are there, and keeps it cool.
Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission will hold the property in perpetuity. Basically going to remain open for public access, for fishing, and there will be no development on the property.
If you degrade an exceptional value wetland, chances of getting that back to that classification are probably slim to none.
In this county, we have 3 main sources of pollution: urban runoff, agricultural runoff, and runoff from previous unreclaimed mining areas.
Every conservation district is similar in that they're operated by board of directors, which are local members of the community. So in that respect, we're all the same, but in that respect, we're all different as well. Because we have those local leaders, we are able to pick and choose what we want the emphasis for our county conservation district to be.
We work with ag producers, farmers, to help them implement best management practices on their fields, implement the erosion sediment control program. We also have an agricultural ombudsman who is a liaison between municipalities and the ag community.
Education's always been a major focus of the Conservation District in Blair County. We had students involved in doing riparian buffer plantings. Riparian buffer would be that area located along a stream, a river, a lake or a pond that would then act as a filter. Runoff coming into that body of water would have to go through the buffer and give that water a chance to be filtered out and hopefully cleaned up before it enters the water course. Can also serve as a shade area. If it is a cold water fishery, a riparian buffer in the tree cover would then act to maintain the shade and maintain the water temperature. Basically, it's an area that enhances that body of water. All conservation districts are concerned with education and getting people involved and knowledgeable about their environment.